Hey everyone. Um, Hi. I didn't plan on streaming tonight. In fact, I should be in bed sleeping. I have to work tomorrow. Thankfully not in the morning. But I still have to work a long day tomorrow. But I feel like I have to stream to get these thoughts out of my head because if I don't, then I'm afraid I'm going to lose some of them, or I don't know. I need to get them out. So I'm going to ask that y'all just hear me out. Go with me on this, and I'm going to be revealing some things too. Um, but so I've been watching a few content creators like the past few days, and like there are some content creators who haven't spoken a word about myself and others for quite a while, and then all of a sudden they were talking nonstop about us, like out of the blue, and to the point where like some were even following some of us into other people's live streams and stuff. And I thought, well, why now? Like, why is this happening now? About like this doesn't make sense. I wonder if maybe now. I wonder if maybe it does in fact make sense. Now I'm going to start here, and I'm going to be a little bit all jumping back and forth between some pretty odd places here in the beginning, but not for long. Then I'm going to bring it together. But right now, I want to share this one thing that really pushed me to stream tonight. They really just, I was like, nope, that's it. I'm fucking streaming. So, oh, wait a minute. I have to first. I knew it wasn't going to be there. I don't know. I need to learn how to find shit on Instagram or something. I don't know. Is it in stories or something where you find the shit? Like, I don't know how to search Instagram, I don't think. But either way, there's screenshots if I can't find it. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh. Let's see here. Okay, so this is, I didn't see the screenshot, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to start here. So over on Katie's Instagram page, let's see. Your math isn't mathing. This year, 2023, 5 years ago, 2018, no contact since 2019, no contact wanted, no contact needed. I've never lost a lawsuit. There were multiple CPS calls and numerous police calls, all documented. I'm not interested in engaging with a mentally ill, dangerous man who can't get over that I won't apologize to them for what they did and said to me. I never helped anyone steal a channel and never had access to anyone's channel other than mine. Imagine being this obsessed with someone, not giving you what you want, that you spend 4+ years harassing them. It's hysterical. This man claims that I have been sued and defamed everyone. I've been sued and defamed everyone. Okay. That could read a couple of different ways. It's weird. One of the names he claims I defamed is literally in prison for what I reported about them. The others settled, and no defamation ever liable. Every accusation he makes about me is a projection. I just feel bad for the women he's lying to and convincing them they are on a mission to rid me, the biggest existential threat to humanity. That's funny, because no one's trying to rid you. We know that that'll never happen. It's like herpes. Dude, your life and entire MO is sad and pathetic. Oh, but it seems to be bugging the shit out of you right now, huh? Like, I mean, I can't picture anyone being more baited right now than you. I've asked you to leave me alone. Stop contacting me through third-party flying monkeys and stop harassing me. It doesn't matter that I'm a, quote, public figure. You know this is personal for you. Oh, but it doesn't sound personal for anyone but you. and you have harassed me, and I've told you for 4 years to leave me alone. Is this how you get left alone? By pissing them off? I understand that harassing me, I don't, something you money, or makes you money. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. I mean, why else waste all of your time and energy on one human being? I know you should do a family like she does. Do a whole family like the Duggars, like Katie. Come on now. You want all the subs and all the money you can strip from me. I'm shocked none of your minions ever question your idiotic stories about me. Oh no, people do question every single story he has about you. But then we see the videos and the posts, and then we no longer have to question. Do you want one of them to kill me? Oh my God. Oh my God, this is the ultimate. Okay, so for everyone in the subreddit Discord who have been wondering, when's the big victimhood of Katie about to come out? Here we are. We are right back to circa 2021, I think it was, when she put that Twitter tweet up that said they wanted me killed, or they wanted to murder me, or whatever it was. I forget how she worded it. Yeah, we're right back to that mentality right now. And what minions would ever do that? Like, that's not a minion at that point. That's a co-conspirator. Like, that's more than a minion. Is that the end goal here? I don't know. Is that the end goal for you and the Duggars? Is that the end goal for you? And was that the end goal for you and Miranda? Was it the end goal for you and 7M? The list could go on and on. I mean, is that the end goal for you? I wonder. Because that's the trajectory you are on. You almost accomplished with that UK woman you claim you never spoke to, but all your minions did speak to. How do you know that? How do you know who spoke to Nat? How? That's interesting. That's interesting. The haters that disgust me. Oh, okay. All right. Then she goes back to. I'm not even reading that. That's all fucking bullshit. It's like I'm not wasting my time on fiction. But anyway, I want to just discuss something here. Let me ask you guys something. How long has it been since Katie had put out posts like that regarding Steve McRae? Because we all know that that's what she's talking about. But how long has it been, though, since Katie has really been so wrapped up with and invested and participating in YouTube drama and coming at people and posting about people or whatever? Like, why now? Why is she doing this now, I wonder? You know, I mean, sure, the lawsuit is coming up and, you know, very likely not going well for her. I mean, she's had a little bit of luck in her past lawsuits, but she still ended up screwed. I mean, she still had to out her sources. I mean, something that a real journalist with integrity should never do, would never feel compelled to do, I would think. But she flipped on them like a fucking potato rolling down a hill, right? So I think it's safe to say that she's had to give up some shit just to get out of whatever lawsuit she was in by the skin of her teeth. So I wonder if it's her current lawsuit that has her desperate for the drama, desperate for the villains, desperate for her victimhood status. But mostly it's the whole addressing Steve right now. Like, why? Anyway, now here's where I start doing my jumpy jumps. I've been over the past couple of weeks, I've been, any chance I've had, rather than watch many videos from the community, which I apologize for the content creators, I support the community. I haven't been watching any of your stuff as much as I should be and would like to. But I've been kind of teaching, and not teaching myself, but exposing myself to another story. And so that story's been going on for quite some time and has a lot of videos for me to catch up on with. So I've been watching a lot of DJ Investigates videos regarding this whole Llama thing. But there's, I mean, I'm on a whole nother rabbit hole with that stuff, but I'm not going to get into much of that right now. But I watched this one today, or I listened to this one today, rather. And this was like deja fucking vu, man. Like, this is deja vu, the end of, deja vu, the end of 2020 and the first half of 2021. Oh my God. So let me show you what I mean. So the name of this, I'm going to put the link to it in the description. I'm going to put the link to it in chat too in just a moment. So this is from, it was a live stream on That Surprise Witness TV from July 15th, 2022. So it's just over a year old. And it's titled Bam's Guardian Lashes Out, Breaks Silence on #FreeBam Reaction. And it says, hello, everyone. Okay. Hello, everybody. Help Bam's brother. Well, Bam's brother and mom couldn't stop #FreeBam from talking about the conservatorships. So next to the plate is the conservator, Nima Mora Tikali Jeremovic herself. Let's read it through her recent unhinged, incoherent Instagram post and see what we can make out of it. Featuring my best friend and fiance, Prem. And it's the contribution that Prem makes and what their discussion about throughout the course of this that caught my attention. So I'm going to skip ahead to, actually, no, I want to play one part where she explains what it is Prem does, or where his knowledge lies. So let me get to transcript. All right, so we're going to go to 13:15. I think that might be it. 32:15.
Talk to y'all about it because Prem has talked to me about it from a business perspective.
Okay. So we're starting about just before the 32-second mark.
New technology, which again, if they can get enough studies done and publish it out, will be worth a lot of money. So she actually is financially,
that's what I was going to ask you. Like, Prem is an entrepreneur. He runs businesses. I'm not as business minded, but I've learned a lot from Prem. A lot of what I talk to y'all about is because Prem has talked to me about it. From a business perspective, it's technically, well, from a legal perspective, I guess it could be technically correct that she is never, quote, charged for her time. This is the next sentence she says.
Okay.
I've never charged
well,
for my
I wanted
time
to play that clip there because she's explaining like where or why she's referring to Prem and valuing what he has to say regarding this, because he has some experience in this and like helping or knowing the tools of the trade, I guess you could say, of helping and I don't know, just launching new businesses on the internet. So now we're going to skip ahead here to, actually, I want to start at red herring because that kind of leads us into the next segue. But the segue that I really want to focus on is called the bots.
And she still, even this post is using for her startup, Meetara, hashtag startup life.
Even this post is a marketing thing. Then she puts one more little thing here. Look. Again, I am not a doctor. Well, we know that, girl. University of the Guelph Acting College. I am not a lawyer. I am. Nor have I ever claimed to be. I do not perform lobotomy. All right, y'all. This is a logical fallacy called a red herring. It's meant to make us get all riled up and start talking about something else that nobody ever said. Nobody said shit about a lobotomy, girl. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the woman who died unexpectedly and suddenly in your care, and then you lied to millions of people about how she died and the drugs in her system. Ain't nobody said shit about a lobotomy, but I'm glad to know you don't do them, I guess. What does that have to do with anything red herring? Next. I do not own a clinic/rehab, and I do not receive a financial kickback from treatment centers. I believe that these types of payouts for referrals are not legal. Well, it doesn't matter what you believe. It is not legal. So your belief is irrelevant here, Lima. In Amanda's case, she was very public about her condition. That's not true. I have watched every single one of those videos more than once. Amanda never said she had schizophrenia. It was you and Mark Leta who kept saying that on camera. Run the tapes and correct me if I'm wrong. Run the tapes and correct me if I'm wrong. I was able to discuss the details about what was already known to the public. Well, it is already known to the public. You lied about her cause of death. So you could probably, I don't know, say that. It is already known to the public how she died. It was cardiac arrhythmia, not seizure disorder. So you could talk about that. But I predict that Lima's going to come out and not talk about that. Thank you, Lauren. A true health professional understands the sacredness of consent. I want to know what ethics panels this research went across. I'm going to venture out on a limb and say none. The ethics panels were two attempted actors who have never been in anything real good, Albert Monero Jr. and Lima Yevremovich. That's who the expert panels, if I had to guess, that's who they ran it by after testing it on Lima's poor sisters, if I had to guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see the receipts, but you're going to claim you can't because you're not allowed to talk about their secrets. You talked about them in front of 2 million people. So I think you can talk about it to clear your good name. So now let's go to my Instagram real quick and see the comment that I posted. And y'all go in more detail in the coming weeks. Okay, so I said, hopefully your explanation.
Okay. Here we are.
You looking at?
So first, we'll just start with the post.
So now over they explain why it is when Lima's page on her Instagram account, how the numbers don't add up. And then they discuss bot accounts, and they're going to discuss obvious bot accounts. And there's reasons why I'm bringing this up. You'll see.
Last year, when the Britney stuff was going on, BJ was getting attacked, and it just didn't seem right because all the people we met in real life, all the people that we saw, everyone was so appreciative, and she was making such a big difference. So I went back into looking how bot accounts, spam accounts, bot accounts work. So I did a lot of research into it. And basically, I think everyone knows you can buy likes and stuff like that. The social media platforms try to monitor it. But as we can see with Elon Musk and the Twitter saga, they even lie about it.
Could you give a quick summary for those who don't know what's going on with Elon Musk and the Twitter saga?
So Elon Musk was going to buy Twitter. He had put in an offer, and basically in their SEC filings, Twitter says that they have less than 5% bot accounts, but Elon Musk basically came out and said there is a lot more than that. There's no way it could be only 5%. I want data. They didn't give him. We don't know exactly what happened, but he's trying to blow up the deal based.
Now I want you to pay attention here because, like, when they're discussing the bot accounts, they show examples of the accounts that they think are bots and what these accounts are saying and how the numbers don't make sense. And it's just, I feel like we've all been through this in early 2021, but on a different scale. But I also think though too, like BJ might want to brace herself because once this lawsuit that she's in with Lima proceeds and starts to pick up traction, providing it does, I think she's going to see a lot of the same bullshit that those of us here in the community went through and experienced with the Toddy Westbrook lawsuit against Without a Crystal Ball. And this is right here is kind of where it all started. But what they're going to describe here is kind of where it all started for those of us that remember this.
On that, so we'll see what happens with that.
So Elon Musk and Twitter are going to be in court, basically arguing over this exact issue. How many of Twitter's accounts aren't even real? Because Elon Musk made an offer to Twitter based on a certain amount of users. But if he's saying 20% of those users are fake, That's a big deal. You're not buying the same asset you thought you were buying at that point.
Yep. And then what I found out was that not a lot, I can't say, there is a big account that buy likes and users so they can get promoted, so they can promote, because that's what advertisers look at, how many followers you have. So in order to seem more credible, people will go out there, buy subscribers, likes, just to show more engagement on their page. But you can usually look at the comments and the likes and kind of understand, hey, is this being bought or is it real? And it's just like clicking through the comments, and you can get it pretty quickly.
So let's do a little.
So first of all, as we know, Llama isn't a celebrity. She hasn't done anything big that anyone knows about, but she has 118,000 subscribers. It doesn't seem right, but could be. Who knows? So
Who knows? It's like offense on that one.
Yep. Then after she posted this status or comment, right after that, there was all these likes that her post got immediately. So another way to look at it is, BJ is doing this activism, and she's been putting all this information out. And Lima says allegedly there's 14,000 emails she's gotten harassing her and everything else like that. Lima has 118,000 subscribers. She should have such a bigger base if she was truthful, honest, and that she could rely on. But clearly, she does not. It's bought. And we're going to look at some of this stuff.
So KGG said, if you use that, you can see if her account engagement is real or not, since it bots.
Of course I was muted. Of course. The fucking cat won't leave me alone. Okay, so let me start over again. Why I'm stopping it at this point here to commentate is because how he pointed out how Lima's claiming to be getting these thousands of hateful emails or whatever. Her numbers don't really open her up for that amount of hate. Now, how many times have we heard Katie Joy say that she was getting dozens, hundreds of whatever of hateful, threatening emails, DMs, tweets, whatever. Emails mostly, though. I know from what I can recall. And then, how can we forget the 40 threatening voicemails, phone calls and voicemails that were left to a brewery that was owned by her husband's band's new label owner. The dude also owned a brewery somewhere, and it was that brewery that naturally got all these phone calls of talking about how much they hate Katie Joy. And it's funny too, because in that video when she was discussing this, she first says that the woman was calling, she first says that the brewery had to block the woman's number because she wouldn't stop calling. And then someone said, well, can't you trace the number or whatever? Report it, submit it to the police. She said, oh, well, she was calling from a blocked number, so they don't really know who it was. Okay. That's different, but okay. So yeah, and I always thought it was very strange how she would always get, according to her, allegedly, she would always get all of these crazy fucking people in her DMs or her email. I mean, even way back in the very beginning that I started paying attention to her, 2020, it didn't make sense to me, because on our Facebook page that I was an admin on for several years, it was in pro-vax. Well, it was pro-vax, but I think it was more like just debunking pseudoscience shit, more than anything. But we had a lot of followers, and our posts got a lot of engagement. But none of us ever got any kind of fucking. I mean, we got some hateful messages, but we get one here and there, maybe 2 or 3 if one of our posts did pretty good, you know. We never got it. Like Katie would get like on it, and she would get this on the reg, you know. And the amount of it she would get and how often she would get it, like it just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And you know, and that's something that she always claims. Sorry, almost didn't pause it in time or mute it in time. That's something that she always claims. She always claims that whenever someone puts out something that she just finds particularly just, you know, ire inducing, she then says, no, what you put out there, the horrible things you said about me has caused all these people to land in my DMs and say how they think I should die or I shouldn't be allowed on YouTube. They want to take everything away from me, you know. And it's like, pretty sure that I've done some fucked up shit to people online. Sad to say. But even if I don't think it's fucked up, I know that there's people out there that think what I've done is fucked up at times. And I don't get any of that shit, really. Like, I'll get once in a while, there were maybe 2 or 3 instances where I had like a few, especially hateful days in my comment section. But even that was never life-threatening stuff or anything, or not even violence-inducing or dreaming, you know, nothing like that. It's just like some pretty harsh insults. But I don't know. I just find it so odd that these people, and it's only certain people, get crazy amounts of hate when the rest of us don't. All right, so there's my commentary to that part.
So maybe we'll have to get a sense about if it costs money, we'll use the free BAM fund.
So yeah, no, again, there's softwares out there, there's websites out there that you can get and figure out if it's fake or real. Even that is a little messy, but we can just review some of the comments. We can just look at some of the comments that people left and the engagement to see if it looks real or not, and then go from there. So first of all, let's look at the first comment that Llama put under. If we click on here, it says that there's 12 replies, but once you click on it, there's only 3 left. So more than likely they were deleted or removed. I don't know what happened, but now you click on it, it goes to 3 replies. But if you go back and refresh it, it'll say 12. So, and then what she's done is she's pinned a few of her comments that go for her and said, look, all these people are supporting me, and just hoping that people look at the top 5, 6 comments and then make up their mind and don't really read through. But what we'll do is we'll go from the bottom. So again, look, there's 12 replies there now.
It's kind of hard to see. I wanted to use the web browser version of this, but it just was not letting me click on it. So I had to use like mirroring my phone on it. Sorry, y'all. And then you can pin in comments.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of these comments that say that's bullying.
See, now they're going to point out specific certain things about bot comments that stand out as potentially being bots.
So bam, I guess that probably isn't a bot one.
I don't think that's a bot. I mean, it could be a bot, but it could be a free BAM bot. I don't know. I don't think that's a purchase bot.
So let's just look at this Natal58649. If we click on this user, they have 0 posts, 0 followers. They're following 1 person.
I was one of the ones who said, you will be successful. Let them see.
So this person really, with no post, with nothing going on, with following 1 person, knew as soon as Llama posted and knew that they had to come and comment and support for her. It might be one.
That's an interesting point right there. I want to stop for a minute and talk on. There's a friend of mine here in the community who's always sharing with me suspicious looking accounts that are cheerleading for Katie or just helping push whatever dangerous rhetoric she is going on. And they're all suspicious looking. And I want to just step in here and say that one of the other things that a lot of these accounts have in common is the private accounts. And also Instagram has this feature where if you click on the account name, you get a drop down menu and you have a few options to choose from. One of the options is to see past usernames. Now, I click on this. It doesn't matter whether I click on it from desktop or phone or whatever. It only tells me one piece of information. It will tell me how many different times or how many times they've changed their username on the platform or for that profile. So it could say like this, they changed their name 5 times or whatever, you know, but it won't give me their previous names. I kind of wish it would. I really wish it would, but it will at least tell me how many different names that they've had. So I've noticed that in all these suspicious looking accounts, they all had like a lot of usernames, like anywhere between like 4 and 10 usernames. and they're all private accounts on Instagram. Like, I don't know. It's just the most bizarre thing for me to see these private accounts on social media. I mean, it's social fucking media. I mean, I get some people want to private things or whatever, but then why be on social media? I don't know. But then again, and especially why be on social media if your username is completely anon? Like, it's just a common first name with a bunch of numbers and you have a cat picture up as your profile pic. Why do you even need the private profile at that point? Ain't no one finding out who you are, at least not with that shit. So it's always bizarre for me to see that, unless they're trying to hide something else, like maybe their past activity, because it might somehow discredit or tarnish their present activity and then future activity, right? Especially if there's a lot of different usernames that account had.
One of her friends.
Are they following Llama's account?
Let's see.
No,
they are not.
So that's another thing. You take an account with I mean, Katie's is a little bit bigger, sure. But even for Instagram numbers, hers isn't all that big. But all of these people who aren't following her end up hearing about her and posting with knowledge, seemingly, with not knowledge about her, but just knowledge about whatever reality show that she's, gossiping about at the time. That's all.
Good point, Prem. And like, y'all know, my brain don't really work like these people. So sometimes it's like, okay, maybe that's a conspiracy theory. But if you really look at it, it's a good point. How did this person who's following no one, or following one person who's not Llama, he has no followers and he has no posts and just a random name, they doll with a bunch of numbers. He's not even following Llama, but he knew on the first night that Llama posted this post to come and comment his support to her. How?
And then the other thing that really stood out to me was there was a lot of Indian named accounts. And I know in India, there is a lot of centers that are available to do things like this, the commenting, likes, comments, and everything else like that. So it really stood out to me. So I just started not even clicking through every single one.
That's an interesting correlation there to bring in. And I'm going to explain why that is. Now, way back when I first started suspecting that Katie was actually working with like these bullshit multimedia or these bullshit online media marketing companies or whatever websites that are, especially the ones that are masquerading as though they're like a news site. When I first started noticing this, I noticed that so many of them were coming out of India. I mean, you can click on the About Us for any of these websites, and it'll come around and say that they're from India. There's other parts of the world too, like South Africa is another one, but yeah, there's a shitload of them in India. Also, though, it was I think it was, I'll have to double check and get the dates exactly, but January 2021. One day I was just going through my analytics, and I was going through the geography for my viewers. I just was trying to learn and understand what this information was that they were providing through analytics. So I'm going through, I'm like, oh, okay, who watches me from where? Well, pretty much only like a few countries where almost all of my viewers come from. Once in a while, you'll see like 5 viewers from this country or 5 viewers from that one, whatever. Never anything bigger than that. There were 2 times in January 2021 where I had this huge upshoot of viewers from India. This is the only time this has happened throughout the entire life of my channel. The only time. I mean, we're talking a few hundred. And this is back when my channel wasn't even big. Like, I'd only been monetized for like maybe 2 months at the time. And out of the blue, my numbers just shoot up with all these viewers from India. Like, where did that come from? But you look back at all the shit that was going on right around that time, and oh, okay. It starts to paint a picture, kind of. So.
I just looked at the Indian accounts to see, was there something fishy there? So let's go to Rohan 1239428. Wow, people are awful. Let's click on this account. So 132 followers, 4th post following 476 people. Look at their post.
Is he following Lima from Aura?
Nope.
Search on the top, Lima. No. So another person, putting all these account details aside, who does not follow Lima, who in the first day that she posted this post has come on and said, oh, people are awful.
So here's another one. 0 posts, 320 followers, 2,700 following. This one is clearly spam,
Yeah, that one's obvious, right?
right? It doesn't even have anything to do with this. Here's another one. You should report that to the police.
She had commented on this one or one that says this. There's one that said you should report that to the police, and she actually commented on it, replied to it, and said, I will. I know she didn't report me to the police because I'll let them know what she did. Because I haven't broken any laws, and it appears that she may have. I don't know. Innocent proven guilty. I'm not accused.
That's what I wanted to point out more than anything. There's a reason for that, which I'm going to get into now. I have to be careful though of how I explain this. And I don't, it's not because I have to be careful. I do want to be careful because if I did in fact ever cause anyone any kind of trauma or anything, I wouldn't want to repeat that. So I'm going to refrain from discussing anything regarding that. But I'm going to reveal this. There's someone around this community who went real life and made a court filing against myself and other creators, but I'm not giving any information on that. Now, I'm not going to discuss that because, like I said, I don't want to cause anyone any trauma. If by any chance I did, I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm not going to discuss that. But here's what I am going to discuss about this. All of a sudden, there are people who are making these streams and videos discussing myself and other creators regarding other people in the community. And these people never even mentioned these people before. Like, this was never on their mind. It was never a concern. It was never a thought. But all of a sudden, out of the blue, this is now all they want to fucking talk about. That's all I want to talk about. So, which case, and they're talking about it from a place like, I can't believe these horrible people did these horrible things to this wonderful woman. Okay, and I'm not disputing any of that. I'm not making any comment on it. I'm not agreeing. I'm not saying a fucking thing about that. But here's what I am saying: if any of these people really believe that that is what happened, then in what world is what they're doing by talking about it and trying very, very hard, it seems, to bait myself and others into talking about it? Why? How does it help anyone involved? How is it looking out for the victim here? Because, like, if you believe for 1 second that I am of that type of person and I have done these things to anyone, and this bothers you to the point that you don't want to see it happen anymore or again, well, you should know that if I were a lesser person, what you're doing might have the opposite effect. But see, I'm too smart for that. And I'm also too caring for that. I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't want to lash out just to prove a point. I want to just not cause harm. Okay. So I'm going to ask that perhaps you consider not making things worse, not trying to make things worse. Perhaps you consider not victimizing this person yourself, your efforts and whatever it is you're doing. Perhaps you consider not adding to the bullshit, not adding to lies or anything. Now, this is where I think a lot of other things come into play because I can't really say why. But as a result of what I received, I had a Zoom hearing for a court, which I showed up for, and I considered not going. I considered just letting the whole thing just whatever. I don't really care. You know, it's whatever comes of this really isn't going to affect me because I'm not. I mean, I don't see how I can not do certain things more than already not doing them. So really, this is kind of redundant, I think. But I spoke with someone in the legal field that I guess you could say. I'm not quite a lawyer, but almost lawyer. And they advised me not to do that. They pointed out some things that I hadn't thought about. And they said that if I didn't show up or if I didn't fight this, basically, then I would be leaving myself open to the court doing whatever the hell they wanted. In which case, they could leave things as vague as they want, and it would very likely be done for the purpose and intent of making it very easy to argue that I tripped up in the future and then hold me legally responsible for it. Basically, that's what I was told. So I thought, oh, geez, I never thought about that. So I went, and now here's where things get kind of scary. I mean, I'm kind of scared about this. I really am. So the court made a date for the future, and then said that all parties have to appear in person. So now I'm being made to go to another state where I know no one. And I have to fight this thing. And I'm not making any reference or anything to the person who started this whole thing. I don't have anything to say about them. This is just what I'm having to do with the court. That's what I'm discussing here. So now I have to go to the city, the state where I know no one. I've never been to. I've never even been to any surrounding states before. And I have to attend this hearing where there's no home field advantage for me. This is all for the other person. Fine. But I don't like how this sounds. And then the reasoning that was given for me having to go in person is because they want to know for a fact that no one's standing behind me telling me what to say. This doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't. It doesn't sound right to me either. So this is what now I'm having to deal with and basically stress out about and contemplate about, because I don't really know what I'm going to do. Part of me just might not show up. I don't know. But see, that's the thing. If I don't show up, though, then the court, I have very good reason to believe that this is what will happen. I can't say what that reason is, but I do have very good reason to believe that the court will then rule above and beyond what was petitioned and make it nearly impossible for me to have a channel at all and commentate on anything. In fact, one of the things that they could rule against me is that I take down my channel. And that's if I don't fight it. So now I'm left with fighting for my rights, I feel like. And I don't even know what I can expect if I go down there, but now I'm left worrying about that. Or, yeah. And now it just seems weird that all of these events that took place over like this last week, we'll say since October 1st, so many of these events I'm talking about took place within the first 5 days of the month. Well, no, it wasn't even. No, I'm sorry. Right before the 1st. It was before the 1st. It was at the end of September. But since like the beginning of October, these people out of the blue have come out to talk all about the people involved, to try to push myself and a few other creators into talking about things that we can't talk about. We're told not to talk about. Almost like, because you see, and they're using this, I feel like, to put us on the defense, because we're humans. We have this like innate desire to defend ourselves against accusations, especially false ones, you know? And it's very hard to not do that. But I'm not going to do that, because I know that that's what they want. And I know that that's what they're trying to do. But I just want to say that I see it happening, you know? And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give in to it. I'm not. Because like I said, I don't want to cause harm. I take it that other people just don't really give a shit if they cause harm. And that's fine. Whatever. That's their right. It really is their right. But I'm not as stupid as you. And I'm not going to take your bait. So, although I say that now, contemplating whether or not I'm taking bait for, possibly going states away or whatever. I don't know, but I guess I'm gonna have to take a chance and find out. But also, that's also kind of why I wanted to put some of this out there a little bit, because when the time comes, should I find out that it was a mistake to do that, well, at least I said something somewhere and people know about it. So like, I wanted to say that I don't want to cause harm. When I talk about that is, I don't believe I did, really, at least not to the degree of losing a channel. In fact, I'm pretty sure I didn't, not to that degree, but that's not what's important here. I feel like we're beyond that now. And even before things went this far, I tried to rectify the situation, but I was turned down. So that's my main concern, I think, is I don't want to cause harm, but I'm not going to not fight this, because I feel like I've been backed into a corner and I have no choice now but to fight it. Because if not, then I'm really fucked. And I bring this up now because we're seeing a lot of names come up again, and one of which I know is the Erica person. Now, Erica came about to us anyways, and for all I know, everyone, I don't know. But she came about, or this account person came about throughout the Marvin McRae saga. Right when Katie really needed someone to try and take the heat off of her. Like, right off the bat, when Erica came about, she was sending everyone a TRO that she claimed to have received against Katie. And the first people she shared this with was Steve McRae. And what Steve McRae had said in response to this TRO was, yeah, it looks like it's legit, but I can't verify it. Like, I can't just, it's not like I can call up the courthouse and say, hey, is this real? And they'll tell me, because it's a TRO. So he just said, it looks like, by appearance, just by the aesthetics alone, it looks legit, because he's seen one before. He said, it looks legit, but I can't verify it. That's what he said. I saw the fucking comment myself. But then it was it attempted to be run with, oh, Steve says that this is real. Steve is behind this, or Steve, or whatever. It turned into this being all about Steve, basically. And that's what told me, this Erica person sounds like she's not genuine. Sounds like she's here for a mission, basically. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know, and I don't know I think maybe if it is true, it's not the entirety of the story, but it's just a portion of it. But then also, it's not just that, it's all of these other new accounts. It's, the emails had started again briefly, but then they stopped, thankfully. And then all of these older accounts, even some of them came back out of the blue. And then, I don't know, I got this one friend request on Facebook. I don't want to give too much of it away, but it's almost like the about part of this page was telling me one story. But then I searched this person's name just out of curiosity in Google, and I get what it leads me to is a blogger who's blogging in the same exact circles as Katie Joy has. So now I'm thinking, I wonder. So, but that's not just the only account that I got like that. There have been others, and none of them though really have anything that either it leads me back to no one at all that really exists by that name, or someone who could be anyone really. And that's weird, because I rarely get any friend requests. I'll be honest with you. I maybe get like one a month, and I'm getting like 4 a day now, like this. And so I wonder, is this the start? Is this like the next bot army or whatever? Or is this like the next attack. This is the next plan of attack. And then with all this shit going on with what I was talking about with the court and everything, and now all these creators are suddenly talking all about this, trying to really rile myself and other creators up. Like, it's ridiculous how hard they're trying. And I think, did somebody employ a bot army here again? Because I really believe that that's where the majority of all this shit from 2021 came from. And I wonder why that is. And I wonder who that is. Now, I'm not the person who filed against me. I'm not making any comment about her. I'm not saying that that person has anything to do with any of this. I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying yes or no. I'm not saying anything. I want to make that clear because I don't want anyone getting misconstrued here and thinking I'm saying something. I'm not. I'm talking about everyone else involved. I'm talking about some other creators who jumped right on this. And really, a lot of people in the comments and shit. That's all I'm talking about. So, all right, that's pretty much. There's a few other things I might want to reiterate or elaborate on, but that's the gist of it. See, Iggy, I don't think that they are that. I think that they are hoping I don't show. And by they, I don't. By they, I refer to these other people, not the person who filed. But like, I feel like this could be a setup in some way. I don't know though. And maybe it's just, is it normal though for a judge, for a court to demand people show up in person, like in today's day and age, okay? Especially if the person coming from out of state is deemed as a potential threat. Is it common, is it customary to demand that possible threat get in the same location as others? I can't get my mind past that. And to give a reason for doing so is, I want to make sure that no one's telling you what to say. I don't know. That seems very strange to me. I don't know. But the whole thing has me very uneasy. Very. I don't mind going to court. I don't give a shit about that. Any of this, I don't care about it. It's no big deal. But it's the whole me having to travel states away to someplace where I know no one. I got nothing for me. I got nothing. I got nothing backing me there, protecting me, nothing. And to do so on such a flimsy reason, I don't know. Maybe I'm cynical, maybe I'm paranoid. It could be. But it just still, I don't know. And the person I spoke to earlier, Dave said that it's kind of odd. I was told that courts will do whatever they want, and sometimes no rhyme or reason, and just it is what it is. But that part's not unusual. But the specifics of this do seem to be a little bit unusual, but it could be nothing. But I was told that just make sure that you don't ignore this, make sure you don't surrender or whatever, just like cave in or whatever. Because if you do, then what their final ruling will be is very likely to be something that is going to trip you up without you even realizing how it could. So, yeah. And then, like I said, there was another thing that happened where I now have reason to believe that could be very well true. That could be the whole intent of this because, yeah, well, that's not my story to tell, so I'm not going to tell it. I know autistic show, everyone's going to be confused about what I'm talking about because I can't give too much information. And I don't want to give, I mean, I would like to give some more information that I'm giving, but not that much more because I don't want to cause anyone harm, you know, I don't. And so, yeah, just leave it at that. Yeah, I know, Steve, but this is, I mean, I'm not even, I'm going to talk about that. That's not even what I'm getting into right now. I'm not discussing merits of anything or of anyone. I'm just talking about what transpired between myself and the court. That's it. Not between myself and the reason why I was in court. So that, and what I've seen other creators doing as of late and what I've seen them saying, because out of the blue, this is all they're talking about. Out of the blue, they're saying all the people who I don't even know, never even heard of, are saying these crazy things about me. And it's almost as if they're trying to bait me into responding. I'm not going to, though, other than to say that I see what you're doing, boo. I see you. But that's it. I mean, and it's some creators who are new, and it's some who aren't new. It's some who are just old and tired and dull and boring, but here they are, out of the blue, talking about myself and others again. Oh, what'd you say, Frank? I didn't even see you tell me what to do. What's that mean? Don't go anywhere at all without speaking to the courts, independent of anything they've sent you in email. I don't know what that means. See, Steve, I don't think I'm not a victim. I'm not. That's not to say that there haven't been attempts made to make me one over these past few years. I don't know, possibly. But either way, no possible alleged attempts ever worked or anything. But this one's got me a little worried. I'll be honest. It does. Like, I don't know. It's almost like being court ordered to put myself at the mercy of a strange land and strangers while I show up for judgment. Like that's what it feels like. And it's none of it makes sense. But I fear that this could be something more than it is. Just that you need. Oh, okay, I see. I still don't know what you're talking about, though, Frank. But the Michelle lady had to go to Kansas to fight a restraining order when she lives in Georgia, but only because Michelle didn't cooperate over Zoom. She tried to screen record it and wouldn't unmute herself. Oh, that's funny. Well, all right, that's something I could see. Like if you're not cooperating or participating properly through the remote option, then yeah, then okay, then we have to go a little more extreme with an option. I get that. But in that situation, though, would it have sounded or been weird if the court said to Michelle at the very beginning, before there was, before it even got to that point, they said, "Listen, when you have to be here in person. Yeah, we know that you live states away. We know that you are far away from being any possible threat at the moment. And if you are like this threatening person, then possibly putting you in the same location might not be the smart thing, but we're going to do it anyways because we want to make sure that no one's standing behind you telling you what to say. Like with that, I don't know. I don't like it. You know, and I got to say too that for these other content creators to be discussing these situations to a degree, it kind of tells me, it gives me the inclination anyways, that they are aware of more than most people in this community, or at least that they were aware of much more than most people in this community before my live stream here. But even so, since I've never really given much away, I'm still aware of most things, or aware of more things than most people in this community. If that's the case, then they're speaking publicly about it and saying the things they're saying. I mean, they can't be doing that. I mean, because if they're really like they're really talking about this on behalf of on behalf of someone that they perceive to be at risk or a victim, then they wouldn't go about it this way. I know that some of them wouldn't, because I've seen them go about things in similar type of situations much differently than what they're doing now. So I almost wonder if this is just all some like PR campaign, in a sense. Oh, there's nothing anyone can do, really. At least no one here. No, and I'm not asking anyone to do anything. I'm really not. Just to hear me out. That's all. And also, like I said earlier, when the time comes and I do travel to this other state, I kind of like just knowing that some people there, that I've said something very publicly to inform people just enough that, hey, this is what's going on. I'm pretty worried and leery about this, but now these people know, in case I was right to be worried about this. You know, that's really all I'm asking anyone to do. Dirty Uncle Sal, they could be. I mean, those words were never used or anything. And there was never a request made for my in-person appearance coming up. There was never anything said about it, except for when the court ruled it so. And like I said, the reason that the court gave was so that they can know that there's no one standing behind me telling me what to say. I also showed up like I was supposed to, and I was very respectful, and I didn't try to turn that appointment into something more than it was already set to be. I accepted and participated, and it wrapped up very quickly because of that. I showed up, did what I was supposed to do, did so very politely, and then that was the end of it. So, I mean, I can't even see of how what anything I've done to really, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, Ricky. Yeah. No, thank you. I appreciate it, but that's it really. Believe me, there's a lot more I would love to say, but I'm being very careful because I don't want to make things worse for myself or anything. But I don't want to cause any harm, because even though I don't see or believe I did, obviously someone believes I did. And so I don't want to do anything to add to that perception for them, I guess. That's why I'm not discussing them or anything like that. Just the other people involved who are involved trying to muddy the waters, make this worse, make this way more conflicting and dramatic, and trying to get us to, or trying to trip myself and others up. I mean, like, someone made a video, someone who I've never even heard of before, and they're talking about me like they fucking know me. Apparently, they've known the other creators for quite some time. And get your paw out of my shirt, please. No, you already got a scratch on my neck. You're not going to scratch at me down there. Get down. No. But and to like hear them like say the things that they're saying about me and shit, and like I'm like, where did this person even come from? Where did this? Why? Like, and there's not a big channel. It's like less than 500 subs, you know? So I don't know. I guess from what I'm told, this person comes from Unirock's camp. So another reason why I'm back to thinking that this is a collaborative effort, maybe. And then to see Katie's posts on Instagram tonight going on with this most ridiculous narrative about Steve. Like, it's, yeah, okay, sure, much of it's the same shit she's been saying, and we know that. But to then put the spin on it, like saying one of your minions might kill me because of what you're doing and saying, but maybe that's what you want. Like, that's crazy. That's even crazy, kind of crazy for Katie Joy, in my opinion. So I'm left to wonder, why the fuck is that? Why is that? Because I don't know. I mean, I believe I know why that is anyway. But out of the blue, though, she puts out these posts out about Steve, out of the blue. And me knowing the events of the past like 10 days, not even 10 days, like 8 days maybe. Me knowing the events of the past 8 days is, nah, it's too much. It's not, I believe in coincidences. There's a lot of coincidence in this world. I'm a big believer in that. But there are some things that just, nah, it's not coincidence. And that's one of those things. I can't offer any proof or anything behind what I'm saying at this point. And I say that because I don't have the proof, not because I can't put it out there. I just want to make that clear. But I don't know. I just feel like that's the case. Yeah, KJ faked FBI correspondence. Remember? Exactly. Unirock, he was the second person who popped in my head. Weird how this has started for you. Well, both Katie and Uni are both going to be bitch slapped in their lawsuits. Seen it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Right. And see, and it's not, Steve, it's not. There will change though. I mean, like in most all courts, court travels similar to this, or that we've seen happen here in the community similar to this, that shit always gets out. It's usually after the fact. Oh, just fine. But that shit always gets out. Edward asked, did Aaron get something? I did, but I can't. I haven't been ordered not to discuss this or not to say what I've got. I to my knowledge, I am legally allowed to give that little bit of information, but I'm choosing not to because I don't want to do anything that could possibly cause harm to someone, or at the very least, that could possibly make it look like I'm trying to cause harm to someone and therefore look badly on me. So that's where I'm going to leave it for now. But all I'm willing to say in the matter is that as a result of something I've gotten, I had to make an appearance, which I did. And it was from this appearance that the court ruled that the next appearance has to be made in person. And this is several states away from me, like halfway across the country from me. So to a place where I know no one, but it's home court advantage to others. And that kind of makes me nervous, especially for the reason that the court gave. I'm not sure I trust that reason, but whatever. But yeah, but like I said though too, and I looked this up online also because the person I spoke to isn't a lawyer, close, but they aren't. So I had looked up though too, just to see what I could find on the internet, like what's the common like belief or whatever, what's the common knowledge about these types of things and what can come of it, just generalized. And I read just pretty much the same shit online. What I read online was that you don't want to ignore this. You don't want to just give into it, and like totally put yourself at, the mercy or whatever. You want to try to fight or argue for some sort of agreement, if anything. So that's where you could have input on what the final determination is of things. Because if you don't, then the final determination of things can be anything and everything, and very likely will be. And that things can sometimes be written vague and be used at the court's discretion, though that's not ideal and whatever. I don't know. But it sounds like this is something that happens far too often than it should. And I think that in this situation, it could very well happen. So. Yeah, I hope so, Dirty Uncle Sal. I do. Because, like, and this is just what I've seen regarding the court. Not anyone else, just the court. If this were something I didn't fight or whatever, then it could very well be the final ruling or whatever could be something that's ordered, something like my channel taken down. And which that struck me as odd, because like it's not YouTube doing it. That's a court of law, or it's civil court, but still, you know what I mean? I mean, so wouldn't it like be almost like literally like the government infringing on freedom of speech? I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know. It probably wouldn't be, but still. See, I talked to some people too, Steve, and I talked to one person, and the way things were worded is, sure, it can be fought, and chances are, it would be fought successfully. But you got the time and money for that? That's the thing. So. Yeah, they are private platforms, but I mean, whatever. No jury would find you. I get what you're saying, Stephen. I believe that, and of course, I would absolutely do whatever I had to do to go that route. But again, like I said, That's not easy, especially if you have to show up in person for every fucking thing, you know? And then there's the whole cost aspect. And really, at that point, I wouldn't be fighting anyone who submitted anything to the court. I would be fighting the court itself, right? So it's not even like I can sit there and say, oh, if it's gonna, if it's gonna bankrupt me, it's gonna bankrupt them too. No, it's not gonna. But I'm getting way ahead of myself here. I don't see. I don't know. Things sometimes for me just seem to work their way out, work itself out, whatever. That's happened a lot actually in my life. But there are those moments where like, nah, you know that's not going to happen. And I'm hoping, and I really do kind of believe that this will be one of those things that work itself out. But just in case it's not, just in case, I'm doing this stream. So that's all. For reasons that I don't want to share right now, because it would involve my talking on the matter too much, and I don't think that's a wise thing to do. But there are some reasons where I feel like if they're not behind it, then they're participating, or they're having been given a front row seat. Because as much as I'm talking about my shit right now, I don't even think I'm the main fucking focus in any of this. It's not me. I'm not even the main fucking focus, which is fine with me. And so this is how things are for me. Just imagine what things might be for the main focus. That's all I'm going to say. Because like I said, it's not my fucking info to give. It's not my shit to talk about. But so it's kind of bullshit though that this shit can happen. Because I mean, we're not talking about something like terms of service here or YouTube or whatever, just being inconsistent with their decisions or shit like that. This is people wanting to control who has a channel. People wanting to control who has a channel. Other channels being able to control who has a channel. Other channels wanting to control what you can say on those channels. Like the enemy here isn't, in my opinion, isn't YouTube. Hell, the enemy here is not even the government. The enemy here is us. Like we're doing this to ourselves. And I say we because there have been times where I've appointed myself as good enough to be like judge and jury of who's on YouTube or who can make money or whatever, and I had someone a few years ago, like kind of stop me, like point out the idiocy in that. And I saw it, thankfully. But it was still me at one point. So I say these things, I say this knowing that I'm just as culpable as anyone else. But that's still, though, whether I'm to blame as well or not, doesn't change the fact that that's the problem here. The problem is people like nonsense. And I say that because she's been the loudest figure in trying to determine and judge who has a channel, whether it be Molly or LB or Bullhorn Betty or whatever, whoever else she's fucking attacking this week. I don't know. But because as much shit as I talk about Katie, I make it a point to say, I don't want to see her channel taken down. That's not what I'm after. I want no part of that. I don't want that power. I don't want that control. I don't want any of that. That's not my place. So, but that's not what some other people do. And we all have heard nonsense say time and time and again how this bitch shouldn't be on YouTube talking about Molly or whoever else. So that's the problem here, I think. It's channels like that thinking that they have a right to decide for the rest of us. I mean, that pisses me off. I'll be honest, there's not a whole lot that really gets under my skin. But that really gets under my skin because I feel like then my choice is being taken away from me. My choice about how I spend my time on a fucking website, who I get to watch. who I get to choose from to watch. Like that's being decided for me by people like Nonsense, who have, I don't know if they have just nothing else going on in their lives, but they just want to appoint themselves judge and jury here of YouTube content. Like that, I don't know, that gets under my skin. But I mean, it's not surprising though, because I mean, they took it upon themselves, along with a couple other creators, to determine what mothers should be determined allowed to visit their child as they lay in a hospital bed dying. You know, so I guess really them deciding YouTube is just, it's a small thing, really. Um, yeah, Dirty Uncle Sal, like it's, I mean, you're right, and that's kind of been done. That's all I can say, really. But yeah, so that's that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up because there's really nothing else I can say. There's nothing more I feel like I can say. So, but before I do, I just want to sum this up though with what I was playing in the beginning here about the bot accounts. Now, like I said, I've seen a huge uptick of suspected bot activity on my Facebook, which I don't necessarily see a whole lot of that on Facebook, but it's been on Facebook, on Twitter, and I'm never on Instagram, so I have no idea what's going on Instagram. But there, I've seen, that's where I've seen it, and the emails that we were receiving there a couple months ago, like the only time I've ever received emails like that was with the whole Toddy Westbrook and Nat whole scenario. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So someone did a privacy complaint on a couple of my videos. YouTube found them to be unfounded, but you could tell pretty much, it was pretty easy to tell who it came from by the timestamps they provided. But then I got another privacy complaint, and the timestamps provided on this video of mine, or this stream of mine, again, contained very brief mentions of the existence of this person, the same person who I suspected the other, like, couple of privacy complaints. But then the rest of the timestamps for the stream provided were my discussing Nat. I thought that was very strange. Like, and it's not even like this could have been mistaken. I was showing emails that I received while discussing Nat, and the emails I received were from 2021. So, and I had no idea who anyone else, who the other person was in 2021. So I found that to be strange. The video that was the complaint was filed upon was a recent video, though. I was in this recent stream. I was discussing things times have passed in 2021. So I want to make that clear. But yeah, the timestamps provided contained like two very brief mentions of the existence of this one person. But then the rest of them, and there were a lot of them, and several long ones too, contained me only talking about Nat. That was very weird. That's another thing that stood out to me, because it was like, why does this person care about me talking about Nat? Like, I don't get it. Like, who would care about me talking about Nat? And then I was reminded too of, when did I get that email? Let me see here. I just noticed the time. I gotta get going. Give me my cat. Yeah, bet you'll learn to leave that alone now. Okay, so when did I get this email? Oh, fuck. Forgot I gotta do that. Anyway, I'm trying to pull up this email that I got. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. All right. Right now I can't find it, but I did. It was a couple of months ago. I got an email allegedly from Nat, and what she had said to me was, I think it was shortly after I did the stream that was just privacy complainted on. It was shortly after I did that stream where Nat sent me an email saying, I'm going to ask that you take down that stream where you discuss me. If not, then I'm going to have to file a complaint. Now I never filed a complaint, but I found this very strange. Because if this was one person filing complaints on these instances where I mentioned the existence of person A, and then Nat came in and filed her complaint on the times I talked about Nat, then fine. That's two different people making two sets of complaints. But the fact that when the second person came in and made the complaint on the times I mentioned Nat, but then also make a complaint on the times I mentioned the existence of person A, then how do I know it's not person A doing all the complaints? You know? So I don't know, where would I put it? Not in there. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Shoot. I gotta find it. Anyways. That's it. That's it. That's it. I think that's it. Important. From anytime. No, I don't want that. All right. I don't find it. Right now, though, it sounds like my cat's trying to tear up my couch. Like she's trying to tear the shit out of my couch. Okay, so I'm going to go back to chat and then I'm going to wrap this up. I seriously, though, listen to Beach discussed that, and there were a couple other things I've heard her say over the course of several streams I listened to over the weekend and past couple days. I see just a lot of shit that's very similar to what to the lead up what myself and other creators who just followed the Toddy Westbrook lawsuit kind of dealt with. Some things were dealt with directly, but for the most part, it was just dealt with like as a bystander, as a witness to things. I think that it's the most of most of my experience with it. And it feels like it's the same thing here, because it feels like as I watched that and witnessed the shit that happened, I'm now looking and learning about this situation. And as the more I learn, I'm seeing a lot of the same shit, and it feels like I'm witnessing shit all over again. That's what it feels like. And I mean, I can't offer any kind of insight or help or advice, because I still don't know what the fuck it is that went on that we saw. But there's two different types of courts. There's a court of law, an actual court, and then there's a court of public opinion. And when it comes to social media, they're two very distinctly different, separate courts. You know, I think for the majority of people, when it's real life, they're not different. They're not so different. But when it comes to online, they're very different, very separate, I should say. And I'm not sure where Llama has her foot mostly planted. I don't know if she mostly has it planted in the physical, like legal definition of it, or in the court of public opinion kind of thing. But seeming is how she's been trying to push this startup company that isn't a health company by any means. It's a data company. It's a data mine. Seeing that that's what she's trying to push, and seeing some of the other very weird events that she has kind of popped up in over the past few years regarding other financially influential people, I think it would be safe to say that she very likely is more worried about the public opinion aspect than anything else, because without a good reputation there, she's not going to get any money from anyone. So it seems like that's where her priorities lie, in which case things are going to get really fucking bumpy. Just, I don't know, expect the unexpected, because no one able to expect this shit. I know, Steven. Think it. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, no matter what it is, I'm whatever somber shit you see on my face, whatever. Right now, I know that I ain't got it nowhere near as bad as what I've seen. It's not even what you've told me you've been through. It's what I've seen you deal with. Like, still, like, ain't no one. It's crazy, man. What I've seen him have to deal with, what I've seen thrown at him and hurled at him, day in and day out. I'm like it's really fucking bizarre. I just want to throw that out there. But thanks for your support, Steve. Well, maybe I can, Steve. I don't know. I might not be allowed to. Inside joke. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yeah. Very. You're look into CDC Media Girl court case. Her own injection. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. I'll check it out. I appreciate it. Of course, there would be less ammo against you if we're not a man. I mean, you're a man. Of course, there's gonna be more ammo. Well, from women, there will be anyway. You know. I mean, I think it's safe to say too. Like, if the roles were reversed, no, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not getting into an in-depth discussion on sexism at fucking 4 a.m. All right, I gotta go because I have to be to work in 8-9 hours or some shit. Yeah, no, you're right, Steve. You're right. Dude, how about this shit with Marilyn Manson? Like, I remember when these accusations first came out, everyone was like, oh my God, there was like you couldn't find a person like sticking up for Marilyn Manson or doubting the claims or the people making them. But now, like I wasn't expecting it. And then one of the most fucked up things I heard over the past couple of weeks was when the discussion first started about Russell Brand. And there was a media outlet, I forget which media it was, I forget which one it was. It's a known one though. But the media first reported these accusations. And what they said was regarding one of the accusers, that the accuser said something about no means no. And then they went on to state how this accuser then had to get an exam done like that day or something. And so she had the follow-up exam at the time that she claims something had happened. And then they read text or something. And that's where the no means no thing came out. And then they said how Russell Brand responded with, I'm sorry. That's all they said though. That's it. That's all the info they were giving there. But then it came out later on what the full context of that discussion was. And that the sex was, well, I want to say completely consensual. It kind of was, but the thing that she, I guess, was like, I don't know, trying to protest against or whatever, was the act of having sex without protection. I'm not sure exactly how it is that came about. And don't get me wrong, it's a shit fucking thing for anyone, Russell Brand or anyone to fucking do, whatever. But I find it, so I'm not giving any opinion or whatever on either party there or who's right or who's, I know that's not my point here. My point is the media. The media did not include that part. Now, I think it was kind of deceitful for them to do that for whatever reason. Like, for some, knowing that bit of information, it wouldn't make a difference in what their opinion had concluded to be. But there's some people that it will make a difference. And who the fuck is any media outlet to determine what info we should have in making our conclusion? Like, you know what I mean? That just seems so conniving. But still some fucked up shit I heard. See, I didn't really have any opinion on whether or not Manson did any of that. I mean, I thought, sure, it's entirely possible. Whatever. What I thought was it's very rare that people are able to do these types of things, especially against very well-known, popular people in the spotlight. Okay. And like both parties are very well known. Okay. And one person's abusing the shit out of the other person allegedly. And they're able to do this for so many years, like decades, without the general public not even getting a whisper of things. That's what I had a hard time coming to terms with. You know, I thought, well, chances are if there was anything there, maybe it's being exaggerated, you know, but it seems like it's much worse than that. It's not even being exaggerated. It's bullshit. Yeah. Oh, I miss you too, Kara. Nice to see you. Okay, I'm going to bed. I'm out of here. I only want to come on for like half hour, 40 minutes or whatever, and this has been way too long. I'm going to be doing more streams and recordings and stuff about the whole thing going on with BJ Investigates, because this is crazy, and it's connected to so many other places, and I see this being something very informative, I think. I don't know. But I'm going to put the link to her channel, or to the video I was playing earlier. I'm going to put that in the description. And I'm also going to put a link to her, I don't know if it's GoFundMe, but I know she's raising money for her legal expenses and her civil case, because Llama had is suing her for defamation. I am sharing this because I know that there are some people who watch some content on my channel who enjoy her channel very much, and I just want to show my support, and I want to just make it easier for those who might want to help her. As always, though, do what you can afford if you so choose. If not, thanks for watching. So, all right, good night, guys. Thanks for being here, and I'm sorry if I went on whining about things or whatever. It's not. I am worried, but like, I'm not like, don't worry about, don't you worry about me. I don't like it when people worry about me and shit, so don't do that, please. I was reading the chat there, and that's why I'm like, okay. But all right, thanks for watching, and good night.